It's guys here. And this is absolutely insane. New reports show it now takes over $250,000 a year just to be considered middle class in some parts of America. Let that sink in. Because if that sounds impossible, here's what's worse. Nearly half of people earning over $200,000 are still living paycheck to paycheck. Meaning, even when you make it, it often doesn't feel like you've made it. So today, we're going to break down why everything changes after $100,000, what that number really represents, how your mindset, options, and opportunities transform once you cross it, and how missing it could quietly cost you years of your life. And by the way, if you appreciate brutally honest videos that pull no punches about money and life, hit that like button. It's free, it helps more people find this, and it really does make a difference. Plus, as a thank you, here's a photo of a baby porcupine, because why not? Alright, let's start at the beginning, with the first big milestone that changes everything. Before you can ever think about wealth, you have to think about safety. Because money isn't just paper or numbers on a screen. It's oxygen for modern life. When you don't have enough of it, every breath feels tight. Your first $10,000, that's not about getting rich. That's about survival. It's the invisible line between chaos and control. Between lying awake at night wondering how you'll make rent, and finally being able to exhale, knowing you'll be okay, at least for a while. This stage isn't about Ferraris, freedom, or fancy investments. It's about peace of mind. $10,000 means you can handle a small emergency without panic. A flat tire won't ruin your week. An unexpected bill won't send you spiraling. You can buy groceries, fill up your tank, pay rent, without that constant hum of fear in the back of your head. But here's the truth no one talks about. If you stay at this level too long, life becomes a loop. You wake up, work, pay bills, repeat. You're surviving, not living. You're reacting to life instead of designing it. And that's the trap most people fall into. They reach $10,000 once, maybe twice, but never build beyond it. Because comfort is seductive. You feel safe enough and stop pushing. But safety without growth is just another form of stagnation. So in this stage, your mission is simple. Get to $10,000 as fast as you can. Don't overthink it. Don't get cute with investments. Work. Learn. Save. Repeat. This is your boot camp phase. The season where discipline is forged, habits are built, and you learn how to create money instead of just spend it. It's not glamorous. It's not Instagram worthy. But it's the foundation. The concrete under every skyscraper of wealth you'll ever build. Because once you cross that first $10,000, something shifts inside you. You stop living in fear of the next emergency and start thinking about the future. That's when survival ends and strategy begins. By the way, if you're sitting there thinking, can I just invest my $10,000 into crypto and double it overnight? Well, technically yes. But only if you also enjoy lighting your paycheck on fire. For entertainment. Because here's the thing. If your plan to build wealth relies on luck, you're not investing, you're gambling with a better vocabulary. Getting rich overnight is the fantasy. Getting rich for real is the discipline. And until you learn how to manage $10,000 without panic, you're not ready to handle $100,000 without chaos. Because here's the truth almost nobody tells you. The first $10,000 gives you safety. But the first $100,000 gives you freedom. It's the invisible line between scarcity and opportunity. When you have $100,000, you're no longer playing defense. You're playing offense. You don't take jobs just to pay bills. You choose work that builds your future. You don't say yes out of desperation. You say no from a position of power. Money stops being something you chase and starts becoming something that works for you. But here's what's wild. It's not even about the number itself. It's about who you become on the way there. Because to earn your first $100,000, you have to transform. You think differently. You spend differently. You respect time differently. You stop asking, how can I make money? And start asking, how can I make it multiply? That's why $100,000 is the real turning point. It's not just money, it's proof. Proof that you can create, sustain, and grow. Proof that your life is no longer controlled by every emergency, every bill, every bad day. And once you hit that milestone, everything changes. You start to feel a new kind of peace. A quiet confidence that says, I'm going to be okay, no matter what happens next. So what exactly happens when you hit that milestone? How does life, mindset, and opportunity shift once you cross the line? Let's dive into it. At $100,000, you are no longer just getting by. You have leverage. You have confidence. You have options. And more importantly, your money finally starts working for you instead of against you. When you're broke, every mistake feels fatal. But once you've built a cushion, risk becomes a tool. You can take calculated bets, starting a side business, moving cities for a better job, or investing in an idea without fear of total collapse. Research from Harvard Business Review found that financial security dramatically increases creative problem solving. Translation? When you're not terrified of losing it all, your brain finally thinks big. Here's the magic of $100,000. Compounding finally becomes visible. Let's say you invest that in an index fund averaging 7% yearly. Without adding another dollar, that $100,000 quietly turns into $200,000 in just over 10 years. But when you add consistency, say $1,500 a month, you'll hit $1 million in under 20 years. That's not fantasy math. That's what happens when your capital starts earning more than your hands. Under $100,000, you focus on earning. After $100,000, you focus on optimizing. Taxes, insurance, asset allocation, retirement accounts, side income, all of it matters. Every dollar saved or invested wisely compounds your future freedom. Every impulsive purchase steals from it. But here's the warning. Most people never feel the benefits of $100,000 because the moment they reach it, they raise their expenses. They upgrade cars, apartments, vacations, chasing the same feeling of success they had when they hit the milestone. It's called lifestyle inflation, and it's the number one reason high-income earners stay broke. The solution? Lock in your lifestyle before your income rises. That gap, your savings rate, is what creates real wealth. You know that friend who suddenly needed a $90,000 truck because they got a $10,000 raise? Yeah, don't be that guy. At this level, you need to understand taxes. Because what you don't know, you lose. According to the IRS, the average American leaves over $2,500 a year on the table in missed deductions. Hire a great accountant. Max your retirement accounts. Learn how long-term capital gains work. Because every dollar you save in taxes compounds for decades. Here's another thing $100,000 buys you: credibility. When people know you've managed your money well, opportunities start finding you. Business partners, investors, mentors, they respect discipline. And that one connection could change your entire trajectory. Remember, wealth is rarely built alone. The biggest change after $100,000 isn't your bank balance, it's your self-image. You stop seeing yourself as a hustler just trying to survive. And start thinking like an investor. You play the long game. You plan your future. And suddenly, the impossible starts looking inevitable. So you've built $100,000. You've learned discipline, patience, and strategy. But what happens next? What does life look like when your money starts making more than your job ever could? Let's talk about the $1 million leap. At around $1 million invested, a simple 7% annual return equals $70,000 a year, passive. That's not lottery money. That's math. And it's the moment you realize you no longer have to trade time for income. Freedom stops being an idea and becomes your daily reality. But new money brings new risks, market downturns, lawsuits, divorce, health. Protect your wealth like you protected your first $10,000. Diversify, insure, plan. Financial freedom without protection is just expensive vulnerability. Once you hit stability, your most valuable asset isn't money, it's time. Buy back your hours. Outsource tasks. Say no to projects that don't move the needle. Because what's the point of wealth if you're still trapped in someone else's calendar? Money changes what's possible, but it doesn't change what matters. Happiness research from Princeton shows emotional well-being plateaus after around $100,000 of annual income. Beyond that, satisfaction comes from control over your time, your health, your relationships. That's the real freedom you're chasing. Now here's the twist. The people who reach $1 million the fastest aren't always the smartest or the luckiest. They're the ones who started early, stayed consistent, and avoided the 3 mistakes I see almost every millionaire make. And I'll break those down in the next video. But for now, if you're serious about reaching your first $100,000 and taking control of your life, check out the free 100K milestone blueprint in the description below. And if this helped you, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me what milestone you're chasing right now. I read every single one. Because at the end of the day, wealth isn't about flexing, it's about freedom. And freedom starts with the first $100,000. Thanks for watching. Take care of your money, your mind, and your time. Because those 3 things, when protected, will take care of everything else.